This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 5, Lesson 9. In this lesson, we're going to look at capacity measurements and how we can relate those to fractions. The directions say to shade in the area models to show how capacity relates to fractions. The first question asks us to shade in 2 quarts and then tell what fraction of a gallon those 2 quarts are. So I'll start by shading in my 2 quarts. Now that I have the 2 quarts shaded in, I will show how they relate to the gallon as a fraction. Since there are 4 quarts that make up a gallon, a 4 would be my denominator. That shows me how many pieces make up the whole. And I have 2 shaded in, so 2 would be my numerator. This means that 2 quarts is the same thing as 2/4 of a gallon. Now, a student might also see that those 2 quarts could be looked at as half of a gallon. So 2 quarts equals 1/2 of a gallon is also an acceptable answer. The next question says 6 pints is equal to what fraction of a gallon? Again, I'll start by shading in my 6 pints. And here we have our 6 pints shaded in. We can see that it takes 8 pints to make a gallon. So 8 will be the denominator of my fraction. And I have 6 of those shaded in. This tells us that 6 pints is the same thing as 6/8 of a gallon. We'll do the same thing for these questions, but for these questions, we're starting with a different whole. So for the first question, our whole is 1 quart, and you can see that it takes 4 cups to make 1 quart. I'm going to shade in 2 of those cups now. Now we'll write the fraction that shows how 2 cups relates to a quart. Since it takes 4 cups to make a quart, 4 is my denominator, and I have 2 of those shaded in. So 2 cups is the same thing as 2/4 of a quart. Just as before, students might notice that those 2 cups make up half of the quart as well. So if they put 2 cups equals 1/2 of a quart, again, that's an acceptable answer. The last question is asking how 1 cup relates to a pint. So you can see that 2 cups is the same thing as 1 pint. So we'll start by shading in 1 cup. There's 1 cup shaded in out of the 2 that make the pint. So 1 cup can be considered 1/2 of a pint. So we can use those measurement conversion ideas to show the relationship between the different units using fractions.